Are you a working parent who's always sent your kids to public schools? But now, public schools are doing online learning. Time to start thinking about part-time homeschooling and how to ensure your children still get an effective education. Keep watching as I look at the hybrid version of schooling and the impact it will have on work and home in the coming months. Welcome to Grow with Kids, where we talk about raising children and traveling with them. I am Rena. Throughout my childhood, and even while I was raising my kids, I always assumed they would go to public schools. My husband and I both work, so homeschooling never even crossed our minds. But now with the pandemic and the children's well-being, parents have to consider part-time homeschooling. And those who aren't need to, as many public schools are doing more online learning. With the education system changing, we need to have a better understanding of the impact hybrid education will have on our families. We need to ensure that the hybrid version will still provide a good balance for working parents and children. Hybrid schooling is basically blended learning, a mixture of traditional learning and online or distance learning. But the question remains is how effective will this be in ensuring that the virus does not spread in schools and kids are safe. Here is some information on research I did on what other countries have done who have already started hybrid learning and how effective it has so far been. This year, mostly all schools are going towards a mixture of public schooling as well as homeschooling. Don't forget to hit that like button as well as the subscribe button and the alert button so that you can keep up with the latest videos that come out twice every week. What impact will the hybrid version have on working parents? That's coming up next, so don't go away. Shorter school days and a day or two at home learning. Are the jobs as flexible for the changes that the school systems are having on families? Many families this year have gotten hit on their income because of the changes that have happened. Some people had already lost their jobs as well as a cut in their working hours when everything was shut down for 2 or 3 months earlier this year. Now we need flexibility from work because of the precautionary measures that schools are taking for our children's well-being. We got a glimpse of how the hybrid version would impact our lifestyle earlier this year. Now with the schools asking for a few days that children work from home, parents and kids will need to start juggling their work and home schedules once again. There are many organizations that are changing their working hours and providing flexible hours for parents with kids to allow for these changes that are coming up and that have been happening this year. However, a typical day in a working mom's life is very hectic and very stressful. A typical day in a household with kids will definitely start quite early. Getting kids ready, meeting all their basic needs before your meetings start at 9 is something that even I am familiar with. Getting the kids up, getting their teeth brushed, doing their washroom, changing their clothes, getting them breakfast, and praying that there are no mood swings from toddlers or from kids. Because if that happens, the schedule goes off the grid. And you have to handle those mood swings and making sure that the kids are calm again and that they're back to their routine so that you can start your day. But with the school starting on their time, but then ending earlier, you only get those few hours where you could get some meetings in or some work done. And then once you pick them up early, it's back to getting that home life and getting the kids to do their work and playing with them and getting them what they need before you could start working on your work. So how much work do you actually get done in a day? Not much. If you're lucky, you could get a few hours of meetings in, and that's it. But then meetings is not all that you need to cover in your work. You have deliverables that you need to get done. You have reports that you need to write. You have emails to reply back to. When do you have time for that? I know personally myself that I usually have to wake up quite early so that I could fit in a few hours of work and get those emails and get those reports done before I wake up my kids and get them ready. And then it's back to home, making sure that all their needs are met. Everything for them is done. So that way then I have, again, a few hours where I could get my work done. Work would not get done when the kids are at home. It would need to be completed once the kids are asleep and the housework is done. Meetings will need to be conducted when the kids are at school, and if not then when the kids are staying busy or watching TV. Definitely subscribe to not miss the next video coming up this week on the pros and cons of hybrid learning for working parents. You would definitely need to do a lot more multitasking and be content with what you have put in to any of the work that you're doing. You might not be able to put in 100%, but the little that you have in the time that we're going through should be enough. It might not feel it, but it needs to be enough. Many changes will be happening to families and the working life within families. For many families, their lifestyle will also be drastically changed. Staying on top of what the schools are doing, asking work for some flexibility, and definitely getting support will make a big difference in how you're able to manage home, work, and your children's schoolwork. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the impact hybrid version will have on working parents. Definitely check out the videos on back to school. And until next time.